everybody, Adam here, and we're here at Cube. So I know I said that for basically the entire month of January we would be jamming Legacy testing for an event, but this last weekend I got some news that unfortunately my team members are unable to play in the event due to other scheduling conflicts. And with only a couple of weeks until such point as the event itself is taking place, I am not confident in my ability to find a team that I am comfortable playing with, that I'm confident in for the event. So unfortunately, I will not be playing in this Team Trios event at the end of the month. We had a great run. I think that a lot of the testing was super interesting. I will be looking at doing stuff like this for future events and things like that, should one jump out at me that catches my interest. But right now, unfortunately, our dreams of playing this team event with some friends are off the table. So we're just gonna kind of chill. And given given the way I've been feeling lately, I just kind of want to do something chill today. So we're just gonna play some Cube. We will be back playing more Constructed Magic. I mean, certainly later this week. But for now, I just kind of want to chill, play a little Cube. For those of you catching this on YouTube, if you do not follow me on social media, you may have missed the announcement, but you will be seeing an abundance of content on YouTube this week, as this last Saturday, I recorded 4 leagues worth of Mono White Initiative as part of my testing, and with all of that, I broke all that up based on each individual league, and so all of that will be posted throughout the week on YouTube. So if you are watching this on YouTube, you will have already seen the first and second leagues of that particular stretch. The first one went live Saturday once I finished up. And then the second league would have went live at 6:30 a.m. on Monday, which is only a handful of hours ago at time of recording. You will be seeing this video on Tuesday, or potentially sometime after. This video will go live on Tuesday. So again, the first 2 videos will have already gone live, so you'll have those to kind of take a look at. And the others will be live Wednesday and Friday, with stream videos from this week going live Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So tons of content on the YouTube channel this week. If you are not already subscribed, please feel free to go over there and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Everything that I do on stream, or at least the vast majority of it, does get posted on the YouTube as well. I have tried to do minor, very, very minor editing for the YouTube channel. I kind of want people to see the true experience, what's going on there. If you are watching this on YouTube and you have opinions on the formatting of the YouTube videos, please feel free to leave a comment below. I am always interested in feedback on the content I'm putting out there. I'd like to know what you, as the people consuming that content, would like to see, what you do enjoy and what you don't. So please feel free to go ahead and leave a comment on the YouTube video about your feelings about kind of the way that videos are coming out, the formatting of them, things like that. But without too much more rambling, we're going to dive right in and play us a Cube League. So I'm going to jump in and we'll see how it goes. I do appreciate everyone coming out today. It's kind of a weird time and a weird day. Well, I guess not a weird day. We've been doing Mondays for a little while now. But kind of a weird time slot for me. But I was off today because of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And I have plans to meet up with a friend who I haven't seen in quite some time this evening, so I decided I was going to go ahead and fire off the stream earlier in the day today. Rather than cancel it, mess things up, I would like to try to keep the schedule, because I would like to keep giving you all content to consume should you wish to consume it. Travis, I see you out there. Hello and welcome. Glad you could make it. Let's see if we can get something busted. Pack 1. So also, while we are waiting for this draft to fire off, if you are someone who watches the YouTube channel, or even somebody who watches the stream, let me know what kind of content you would like to see moving forward, because without the hard press to go ahead and play Legacy for this event testing, I'm kind of looking at doing all sorts of stuff again. I've had some fun with what's going on in Legacy right now. Initiative is sweet. Cephalid Breakfast coming back is awesome. I love that deck a lot. But I also love playing Vintage. So if there is something particular you would like to see, please feel free to go ahead and leave a YouTube comment, reach out to me on Twitter. My DMs are open. Whispers on Twitch. Post things in chat if you catch us live. Always interested in hearing what it is you folks like to see. So go ahead and do that as well. I think I'm going to take this Nissa Who Shakes the World. Like, looking at a lot of this, none of this is super exciting. Like, Gilded Drake is fine. Knight's Whisper is fine. Signets are fine. Nissa Who Shakes the World just seems rad. This is a Green Sun Zenith or a Woodfall Primus. Primus is probably more rad. I also like Treachery a whole bunch. I was also watching Justin Gennari. I'm actually level 1, stream a cube run, and the green deck seemed really open. I think I'm going to take Zenith? I'm also, like, Woodfall Primus is super sick. Like, mana fixing is always good. Always into that kind of stuff. But kind of want to start centering in on what we want to be doing. Oath of Druids, you say? Well, this is intriguing. Maybe we pivot. I do like Oath. Magus of the Order, also kind of cool. I'm gonna take Oath. So if we're on Oath, we don't necessarily want to be on a bunch of other creatures. So maybe this Zenith doesn't actually make the deck. We will see. I'm going to start valuing like cantrips and things like that pretty highly. If we are Oath, I am going to start... Is it High Tide? Okay, so hear me out. Vintage Tide, probably not awful. Probably, question mark. That said, red for why? God, why are you a Emrakul the Aeon Storm? Easy money. Get in here. Frantic Search is in fact a legal card. I'm just trying to figure out what we're playing red cards for. Like, sure, Pyroblast is good. I understand. Are we playing red for, like, Underworld Breach and Wheel of Fortune? Sure, okay. I understand. Like, if we're playing Breach, we're probably also playing Wheel of Fortune. Just throwing that out there. I don't know, Tide just feels like a really weird deck in Vintage. The thing is that a lot of the stuff you could be doing in High Tide, you could also just be doing in other random archetypes, right? Like, if you want to storm kill somebody, like... I guess... I'm going to say this in as polite a way as possible. If you want to storm kill people, and you want to throw your play points away, I think that playing DPS is just like a way cooler thing that you... Speaking of High Tide, I think that DPS is just a much cooler thing that you could do. I don't hate Raging Ravine here, if I'm being honest. Playing a manland is not crazy in an Oath of Druids deck. So, like, I don't hate this, and there are red cards that we might be interested in. So, I will take Raging Ravine. Yeah, so Travis, to like, kind of address this a little more in depth, I'm gonna move this to the sideboard for now, we'll think about it later. Like, people have been trying DPS in Vintage again, Dark Petition Storm, and the thing about that is that DPS is a deck that has not done particularly well in the format in a long time, because of just a large Sphinx of the Steel Wind, you say. Sign me up. Um, that's fair. DPS is a deck that like is really cool, but just hasn't been good in Vintage in a long time, because of the presence of like nigh infinite Flusterstorms and like the occasional Mindbreak Trap, and there's just a lot of hate that isn't necessarily in people's deck for the purposes of DPS, but like is casually very good against DPS. Excuse me. And with that said, like it's just really hard to want to play a Storm deck in Vintage. Especially with a deck like Initiative floating around, when your opponent can just put into play a turn 1 Archon of Emeria uncounterably. Like, that's just a really rough life to live. Yeah, we're gonna take this pre-rain, I guess. Rotate is not crazy. I also don't hate this Incinerate. Yeah, turn 1 Archon is nuts, and it's the reason that I was playing Archon in Legacy. Because the thing is that, one, it's just so insanely good against combo. You'll kind of catch some of that as the videos come out for the stream from this weekend. That, like, we just won games against some combo decks because we had Archon of Emeria in our deck. Like, we just put an Archon of Emeria into play, and they couldn't really do anything about it and died to it. So, it's kind of good. You also get some real tempo advantage against decks like Delver. If you can put an Archon of Emeria into play, especially uncounterably, and then just, like, slam that into play. They were playing maybe one basic land, and their deck doesn't really do anything quickly when all of their lands are entering tapped. Okay. I don't want this. I might want Treasure Cruise. I think I like Treasure Cruise here. So what we're looking for here is a bunch of like counter spells, interactive spells. I think I'm gonna take this Chain Lightning. This is kind of bold, but I think that I'm going to go in such a fashion that I want to be playing like kind of a control shell. Again, if you are familiar with the archetype, I want to kind of model this after Vintage Oath, where our game plan is to just kind of like lock things up, trigger Oath of Druids, put a big dumb idiot into play. Our other threats will be Planeswalkers, so that'll always be pretty great. The big things we're going to want are ways to interact with cards like Fractured Identity. That card is an absolute beating. It is one of the best cards in the cube. It's not close. If you have ever played cube and either resolved a Fractured Identity or had a Fractured Identity resolved against you, you know how insane that card is in cube. This isn't very good. I'll take an Iona here. Like, these three are really, really good Oath of Druids targets. Like, the red-based decks that are, like, playing Chain Lightnings and Zealous Conscripts and things like that are going to have just a nightmare of a time answering a Sphinx of the Steel Wind. Aggro decks, again, nightmare of a time answering a Sphinx of the Steel Wind. Iona Shield of Emeria. If you run into the, like, Gaia's Cradle decks, this on green is backbreaking. Against the Reanimator decks, this on black is just insane. I don't really want any of these. Let's take a Crucible of Worlds that I probably won't play. If somehow we stitch our way into like a Strip Mine or Wasteland, like Ren and 6 package, I might play the Crucible of Worlds. All of these also don't matter. Yeah, I guess we'll take the land. This could be a thing where instead of playing like red, we play... do you want this? This is very good. Yep, move to sideboard. So here's what's fun. If I remember correctly, and this is very important, it is a very... This situation could come up. Let's, for example, say that I have an Oath of Druids in play, and my opponent has a Containment Priest, and I have 0 creatures. I believe... I'm not 100% on this, but I believe that what we can do is go to our upkeep, put the Oath trigger on the stack, targeting our opponent. At the time, they have more creatures than we do. So then what we can do is answer... time walk, please, yes. What we can do is go ahead and answer their Containment Priest, and then move forward with resolving the Oath trigger. That said, don't hold me to that. I'm gonna take this time walk, though. I don't hate Pest Infestation. Kogla, also not insane. Desert the Seeker is, like, okay if we find a package for it. Botanical Sanctum is fine. Grave Titan is fine. Some just don't hate Botanical Sanctum here. I think I'm just going to take Pest Infestation here. Like, we're not a big mana deck, so we're not going to make, like, huge use of this. I will take this Breeding Pool. Speaking of Fractured Identity, hello and welcome. Ashen Rider, also pretty insane. This is also pretty great, not gonna lie. I think we have like some of the best payoffs though. We also now have Tropical Island. Daze is pretty mediocre as far as counterspells go. There's enough fast mana in the Vintage Cube that Daze gets just totally outclassed very quickly. We do need more interaction. Probably gonna cut this Concealed Courtyard for now. I would love to find things like Brainstorm, Pelucranos, Horizon Can, Grizzlebrand. The answer is Grizzlebrand. I also don't hate Gruul Signet. But I believe that right now the correct answer is just to take this Grizzlebrand. I am looking for other cards along the lines of Lightning Bolt or Burst Lightning, counter spells like Miscalculation, Mana Leak, Remand, whatever it might be. I would also take things like Repeal. There are a lot of pretty interesting things. We just need interactive spells at this point, basically. Show and Tell, also a thing that I would be particularly interested in. Eureka. We have things that we would be interested in obtaining for this deck. I'll put it that way. All right. Okay. Oh, Blightsteel, hello. I'm also interested in things like Lotus Petal. Duretti is not insane here. But like, if we're gonna put a big dumb robot into play this good against aggro, this one is very good. Not gonna lie to you. I wouldn't hate like Petal, wouldn't hate Duretti. But yeah, right now, I'm particularly interested in Blightsteel Colossus. We found the Eureka. So again, things that we're interested in at this point are interactive spells, like counter magic, removal, stuff like that. Would also still take show and tell. I don't think this treasure cruise makes the cut. I just don't think that this is a thing that's going to do anything in a meaningful amount of time. I would also take mana acceleration. This includes things like boxes, signets. We have pretty much all the top end that we need. I don't hate that. I also don't hate this. I'm gonna take this. I think this is better than the Wheel of Fortune. It's close, but I think that this is better than the Wheel of Fortune. It is graveyard hate that we can main deck pretty freely. It is also a threat or a defensive card that we can use. So for example, we can put Hearst into play. We can start exiling all their random stuff from their yard. And then we can go ahead with like attacking or blocking with unlicensed Hearst while we wait to set up Oath of Druids. Or find Eureka. I will say, this card is mostly free. Just by the nature of Cube, there are plenty of artifacts and enchantments that float around. So I would say that it is pretty easy for Pest Infestation to just be a totally reasonable Magic card. Alright. Indoth the Triome. Yeah, I don't love any of this. Do I have any white or black cards I want to splash? Not really. I'm just gonna take the Triome. I mean, so here's the deal. In this deck, this is just non-basic forest. But it is also non-basic forest that can be a cantrip if we're flooding out. So that's not unreasonable. I mean, I suppose it does let us splash this or the O-Ring. I'll take the Vraska here. This card is actually very good. I would like to find some number of other black sources if we're going to play this. We can play the Courtyard. The problem with playing Courtyard is it doesn't really cast any of our other spells. I mean, it'll cast Sphinx, it'll cast Grizzlebrand, it'll cast Iona. I guess it'll also cast Blightsteel. But those, like, aren't really the metrics we want. Right? We want red, blue, green. So things I would consider for it are like... so I'm going to take this Ash... I'm going to take this Nurturing Peatland. I think I have enough top end. gonna put this down here for the sake of our curve. This is like a 3-mana spell. Like, that's the floor, right? 3 mana, blow up an artifact or enchantment. Make 2 1/1s. Alright. Copperline Gorge, I guess. Sure. Got a bunch of fast lands. I don't really want any of these things in particular. Yeah, I just don't really want any of these things. So again, things we're interested in: mana acceleration, interaction, show and tell, sneak attack. All of these things are good for us. Sure, we'll take Duretti, I guess. We're not playing Elspeth Sun's Champion. Much as I do love a Sun's Champion, we're not living that life. I guess Eureka does let us put in Planeswalkers, which is pretty insane. So let's see what we can do in pack 3 here to shape this up. Finish up the last of the deck. Again, interactive spells, show and tell, sneak attack, and mana rocks. Well, hello Black Lotus. We just take those. Other things in this pack that are interesting include Maelstrom Pulse as a removal spell. Balance is not insane. Our creatures are likely to be much higher quality. Phyrexian Metamorph, also pretty interesting. So Metamorph is cute because what Metamorph lets us do is if we flip into it, it doesn't have to be a creature. So if our opponent's one creature is pretty trash, this can enter the battlefield as a non-creature. Or if we don't have an answer to like a Containment Priest, this can enter as a non-creature, which is very good. But I'm going to take Black Lotus here. Like, you just don't pass that. Time Twister, Progenitus. Temporary Lockdown. Each non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less until this leaves play. This costs white, though. Not really a life I'm looking to live. I'm going to take Blooming Marsh? Question mark? So what does Marsh Flats fetch? Nothing? Okay, cool. Good talk. Arid Mesa is no better. Yeah, I'm just going to take Blooming Marsh. There's an argument here to take Strip Mine. Strip Mine is also very good. We could take Narset Parter Avails. That card is also good. I don't think those are lives we're trying to live. So, we're going to take Blooming Marsh. Again, Progenitus, also a thing that's on the radar, right? Like, it is of this caliber. Repeal, that is exactly the kind of card we're looking for. Misty Rainforest, also very good here. Misty Rainforest, possibly better than Repeal. I think we just need the interaction, though, at this point. As much as I would love to take Misty Rainforest for fixing, I think our mana is going to be okay most of the time. Workshop, Copter, Garruk Relentless. This qualifies as both interaction and a threat. This can just be a removal spell. I like that for us a lot. It's the same thing with Vraska. Like, this is a removal spell and a threat. This is a removal spell and a threat. I like Remand here, quite a great deal. Helix also not terrible. Signet's fine. Mystical Tutor, not awful. How many white sources do we have? Indotha Triome. Guess we can play this now. I don't hate just taking the plow here. I think that's what we're doing. I'm just taking this plow. We got a couple of white sources. Fingers crossed that that repeal wheels. That would be so good for us. I will say this is funny and kind of a nombo with our Oath of Druids. Because it turns our forest into a creature forever. Baral, Black Cliffs, Timeless Lotus, Creeping Tar Pit, Dam. Witherbloom? I think it's Dam. Actually, no, it's Unholy Heat. Unholy Heat is infinitely more castable in our deck. Ignore me, we're 5-color Oath. It just kind of happened this way. Our mana's also not terrible, which is kind of interesting. Like, we just have enough random dual lands. A lot of them are fast lands, which is kind of unfortunate, but there's Breach. It's like Breach or Teferi Hero. Through the Breach is very good. And will facilitate killing our opponent. But I don't think killing our opponent is necessarily going to be the problem. I think that getting to the point where we kill our opponent might be the hard part. So we'll take Teferi Hero. I will say that we are, like, miserably, miserably soft to an Armageddon. Like, with our only way to answer it being a singleton remand, like, that just feels really questionable. Is there anything in here that got better because of other picks that we made? I still don't think we can play Sun's Champion. As much as I would love to. But I hope everyone is having a fantastic day so far. I guess we'll take this balance. I really do hope that everyone is enjoying their Monday afternoon. I know mine started off pretty okay. I went ahead and got some of my housework taken care of that I have been putting off. And I got myself a vegan fried chicken sandwich with fries and coleslaw from my favorite local spot, which is excellent. And now we're gonna cube. Going out with a friend later. It's gonna be a pretty good Monday. Can't complain. Again, we don't have a ton of mana acceleration here, which is pretty unfortunate. I like Inquisition here. This fetches exactly Endotha Triome and nothing else. I'll just take the interactive spell. I don't know how castable this is going to be a good portion of the time, I'm going to be honest with you, but I think that what our deck is lacking is interaction. So we're pretty red light. I don't really want any of this. I will, however, take the Sweet Sweet Beseiju. That one's very good for us. Beseiju is excellent for wiping out all sorts of various annoying permanents. I guess we'll take a dress. I think we actually found enough cheap stuff in Consider, Plow, Preordained Duress, Inquisition, Chain Lightning, Unholy Heat, Remand, Walk, stuff like that. I think that we found enough of that stuff that I don't really want either of these cards. So we're gonna take Satoru. I think we found enough of these cheap cards that this Treasure Cruise is actually playable, repeal included. I was really concerned when I picked this Treasure Cruise that it wasn't going to be playable at all, but it looks like it's actually okay. So I'm going to have to make some cuts. I think one of them is Sphinx of the Steel Winds. Take Unlicensed Hearse out. Those are cards that you can just kind of sideboard in. Can take out Iona. I just have to make room for a few more lands. Not many, but a few. So something else that's super interesting here is a lot of times you can use Oath of Druids to leverage tempo. And what I mean by that is I don't really want this mountain. I think I have 1, 2, 3 red sources for 1, 2, 3 single red pip cards. It's probably fine. 1, 2, 3 white cards. 1, 2. Sure, I'm gonna take another green, I think. I have a ton of green sources already. Maybe I don't take the green source. 1 blue source, 2 blue source, 3 blue source, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take a blue source. 1 white, 2 white. Something like this. We're going to hit green quickly enough a good portion of the time that I don't think that's going to be an issue. We only have a couple of red cards. Yeah, I guess we'll try something like this. But yeah, so what I was going to do anyway is Unlicensed Hearse, Sphinx the Steel Wind, and Iona are things that you can board in when they're super impactful. So like we can change it over, you know, if our opponent is on pretty few mana rocks, they're on like a green deck, we can cut Pest Infestation, stuff like that. So that's pretty okay. Yeah. I think this is a decent starting point. Let's go ahead. I am concerned, I'll say this on the outset, I am concerned that we do not have enough interaction. Vanwatch, that's fair. So my thought going into this was to play like Control Oath. When I got Oath of Druids pretty early, I was just like, I'm just gonna play like vintage style Control Oath. And then we just didn't see as much interaction as I would have hoped for. Like, I didn't see Mana Leak, Miscalc, Cryptic, Counterspell. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, it was just like, well, okay then. So instead I just, like, decided to take a bunch of removal and planeswalkers. And my game plan is to be, like, Oath and Eureka will be backup plans, with the rest of our plan being to kind of be this, like, control deck. Or this this kind of mid-range tap-out Haymaker deck. Raceland Majere. I love opponent's name. This hand is unkeepable. We're gonna mulligan. This one is also unkeepable. Mulligan. Keep. Bottom this. Bottom balance. Done. Oh, it should be, I mean, it's gonna be sweet. Like, I make no promises that this deck is gonna be, like, cracked in half or anything, but it's gonna be a good time. And I think that right now, I am sitting on enough... Nice. I think that right now I'm sitting on enough play points and ticks from the hot streak we've been on right now that I'm okay throwing a few play points away. Oh, absolutely, Van Wedge. Like, the reason I enjoy Cube so much is because I get to do busted, quirky things. So, opponent's username is Raceland Majere, which is a character from the Dragonlance novels. I am a big fan of that series, and of that character in particular. So I was commenting to opponent how I love their name, and they said it's actually their birth name. Oh, 100% Van Wedge. 100%. Remand you. Play Blooming Marsh. I'm just gonna fire this off. I'll make two idiots here. Next turn I'll play Raging Ravine. Pest Infestation is rad. This card is actually pretty sweet. I was talking earlier how, like, one of my absolute favorites, and a card that I think is just absolutely cracked, is Fractured Identity. Fractured Identity is just such an insane Magic card. Opponent has revealed Opposition. So there's Treasure Cruise. Here's Raging Ravine. Everybody in the pool at Nar said I would prefer they don't get to draw any extra cards. Battle of the Sweet Enchantments indeed. This is going to be sick. Because with opponent playing Opposition, that tells me that they have a non-zero number of creatures that they plan on resolving. And with that being the case, I think Walking Ballista on 2, this resolves. Attack Narset. Attack Narset. Green, 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 1, 2. Nissa Who Shakes the World. Animate this. Yeah, with opponent being an opposition deck, that actually speaks, like, that's like absolutely incredible for us. Because what opposition is going to do is mean that they're going to try to be playing creatures. Fine. You have in fact Stone Rained me with your spell that cost you 2 life. You attacking Narset? You are Nissa? Yeah, you are attacking Nissa, that's fine. That'll be good later. So here's the $1 million question. If I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Blue, green, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's rough. 7? Blue, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I do need one more. I did bad math. Okay. I'm gonna tap my Raging Ravine, I suppose. Is this where I get Mana Leaked or Miscalced? No, it is not. Interesting. Okay, I'm just gonna pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're only 2 mana away from just like actually factually casting this Blightstone Colossus. This is true. Okay. Opponent has resolved opposition. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. "12 Nailblade Steel Colossus, baby, let's go." Opponent's response is, "That's a card," and I said, "Robot is a real pal." I'm going to use this to defend Nissa. If there is somehow a way that opponent answers this Blightsteel, which they have. Okay. They have tapped it. Opponent could be on a series of things, including treachery, bribery would be particularly terrifying. I do recommend the Dragonlance books. Opponent has a Metamorph. Okay. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents, its controller may pay 1 life. If they do, draw a card. Sure. So game plan here is going to be Preordain looking for Plow. That's also interesting. So what I would suggest is, if you are going to read the Dragonlance novels, yes. You definitely want to start at the beginning of the series. That said, the beginning of the series is a pretty nebulous point depending on who you're asking. Okay. Sack this. Okay, okay. Garrick Relentless, not crazy. Wolf. All right. Animate Copperline Gorge here. Gonna play our land, cast our Preordain. Yeah, the Dragonlance timeline is really messy. It's because there's a lot of going. Okay, opponent is conceded. There are a lot of various points where the series kind of diverges. There's a lot of different stories going on in this series of novels all at once. So it's not a necessarily easy thing to determine like where one might want to start. What I would suggest is hold. Please bear with me one moment while I remember the name of the book. I want to say it is Dragons of an Autumn Twilight. Correct. Dragons of an Autumn Twilight. That is where I would suggest starting. So, yes, you can start with the Brothers Trilogy. That is, like, one of my preferred frames of reference. Dragons of an Autumn Twilight. I think I want to get rid of one of these idiots in favor of an Iona. Iona on blue seems very good here. So the thing with Brothers Trilogy is it, like, I think that portion of things gets better if you are already kind of aware of some of the characters and already kind of getting attached. Yeah. So the situation with the reason that I recommend starting with Dragons of Autumn Twilight is because that introduces you to a whole host of characters that you'll find scattered throughout all different series, and it presents them all in a fashion where it is deep enough that you are nope. Jammouth. Dragons of Autumn Twilight is going to put you into a position where you are already kind of passingly familiar with these characters and some of their backstories, so you can kind of jump around into the various other kind of like introductory series, going into those characters in more depth, while already being kind of aware of some of these things, so you can kind of follow your favorite characters in more depth. Opponent said, oh, cool, and I'm like, robot make more sense now? So yes, I would say if you were looking to dive into the Dragonlance novels, then I would start with Dragons of Autumn Twilight and follow that whole series to its conclusion. That said, you will kind of learn some after story things, so that could ruin your immersion for future reading. But I would so I would say that, honestly, my #1 recommendation is start with Dragons of Autumn Twilight. If you find characters in Dragons of Autumn Twilight that you like, then it resolves. Yes, please. Blue. I think I'm just gonna force this issue now. I have another removal spell. I'll let opponent trigger Oath because I have access to Plow, and opponent could trigger Oath anyway if they wanted to. By doing what they just did. I mean, there's a ton of options. Like, the beauty of the Dragonlance series, or the kind of D&D adjacent books, is that there is a ton of different stuff that you can read. Opponent has triggered Oath. Snapcaster targeting Echo of Eons. Opponent says, I responded to opponent said, I mean, this Oath trigger would be cool for you, if not for Iona, because they got a Snapcaster and put an Echo in their graveyard. And opponent said, bruh, it already has Flashback. Black. Sure, this is fine. See, okay. Here's the hot take of the day, and I have to check to see if Greg's here, because if Greg's here, he'll get mad at me. He's not. Truth be told, I actually prefer the Dragonlance series to the Forgotten Realms stuff. And the problem I have with Drist, while Drist is a really cool character, there is so much Drist story that it is really kind of hard to... It just really gets kind of played out. Yes, please. Drizzle Dad! We found a Grizzle Dad! I'm gonna play this Nurturing Peatland, I guess. My opponent is now in love with Oath of Druids. I'm here for it. Van Wedge, we have a convert. Opponent said that this was their first time delving into the vintage card pool, and now they have just recently kind of become aware of Oath of Druids, which makes me very happy. I'm gonna go green. I am gonna cast this Garruk, because I think it's actively good for us to do so. We're gonna make Wolf. This way I can double block Grief. Oh, I should not have done that. I should have just used Garruk to... Yeah, it doesn't matter. I should just not have activated Garruk at all. That's what I should have done. Yeah, that doesn't matter. Does this have flying? This does not have flying. Okay. Opponent is dead on board. Okay. Sure. So I think what I'm interested in doing here... Sure. I just want to rip a bunch of cards with Grizzlebrand and try to find Time Walk. Like, ripping cards with Grizzlebrand to find Time Walk is like the best thing I can possibly do right now. Flip my Garruk. Pay 7 to draw 7. We found Time Walk. We found Time Walk in the first 7, no less. Okay. Here's my Chain Lightning. Forest, Lotus, Duresu, Nothing Matters, Time Walk, is there anything else we want to try to be playing? We're still discarding cards here. Okay. So we start our league 1-0. That feels pretty good. Who needs interaction when your deck's just cracked? Just play all these great cards, it's fine. I do appreciate opponent being such a good sport about it. Like, we get to do some pretty crazy things both games. Okay. This hand is not great because it doesn't have anything in it to cast Preordain or Time Walk. I'm gonna mulligan. So listen. Listen. We're gonna mulligan. Keep. We're gonna bottom Time Walk. We're gonna bottom Eureka. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna play a turn 1 Raging Ravine. Okay, there's a forest that they can actually untap. They're telling me you don't have a 2-drop? This is not likely to be great. Okay. So they do nothing this turn. Go to 3 lands and play. Gonna slam their Urza. And Tropical Island. So their hand is currently Island, Deranged Hermit, 2 unknowns. That's not what we wanted at all. Yikes. Oh, God, why? This is a punish for my brain being too many places at once. So basic forest, so we know one more card in our hand than we should. Whisperwood Elemental. Ah yes, Bladesteel Colossus, welcome. I am so glad that you are here. So, game plan there was to try to draw into balance. Clear their board, make them sack land. All of these things feel pretty great. Yep. I literally can't get a red producing land. Okay, that's awesome. Grab Tropical Island? Grab Tropical Island, I guess. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8. Go to 10. Does opponent have some sort of ninja? Oh, it's Questing Beast. 4, 8, 9, 10. Go to 8. Sure thing. Alright, let's go ahead and find balance. That ain't it. I do like Iona here. I also like Sphinx. I'm less interested in Grizzlebrand. This doesn't feel like a Pest Infestation matchup. I don't think they're going to have that many artifacts and enchantments. I also don't hate Unlicensed Hearse, but I don't think it's fantastic. Yep. We're going to use Remand here to try to bridge the gap. Birds of Paradise is fine. Play this and pass. So here's the deal, right? I can remand this, make them cast it again, make their thing be... I actually like that. Okay. The reason I like that specifically is because now, yeah, see, and because their thing cost colored mana, this is Nurturing Peatlands. Cool. Channel resolves. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16. That's cute. This Vraska's going to be very good against this Krasis. I just need them to not have another idiot. And at present, it seems like they don't. I would also love to find another land that doesn't enter tapped. Because that way, if this Vraska doesn't resolve, I can plow this Krasis. Not exactly the life we're trying to live, but... This is a large Krasis. This thing does fly, right? Yeah, flying trample. Okay. Well, we did not. I'm going to put Courtyard into play. And the reason we're playing Courtyard here is because with Courtyard, sick. Goodbye. Wolf. The reason being, if for some reason Vraska didn't resolve and then they like wastelanded or strip mined and got the Triome, I would have the ability to still play Swords to Plowshares. I'd have to take 16, but we could do it. Questing Beast resolves. This wolf is never blocking. This Questing Beast might not be attacking. That's bold. Oh, right. They just get to do the thing anyway. Sure. Alright. Gonna float a green here. Well, that doesn't really do anything right now, does it? You can gain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cat. Play Raging Ravine. Cool. Now, eventually we will find large idiots to put into play with this Eureka. Multicolors. That's frustrating. Okay, they've exiled nothing of relevance. They also have a wolf. That's a robot. I'm gonna repeal this. So hear me out. Opponent has not had force up to this point. Here's what I think we do. Chain Lightning. Eureka. This is the weirdest matchup to play this Eureka in. They're copying a robot. I think this wolf is of little relevance now. But I think Copperline Gorge is... No, Copperline Gorge lets us attack. Sure. So fingers crossed opponent doesn't just time walk us. I guess I also just needed to not do this. That's also... I sequenced that poorly, now that I'm thinking about it. I should not have bounced their wolf first. I should have Eureka'd first, then did all of the stuff I wanted to do. I wouldn't have gotten to kill Ashiok, but I think that's okay. Garruk Relentless, yes. That card does not matter. You have presented 2/2 Wolf. That's okay. I think all I really want here is Time Walk. Is that true? Put on top. So here's the deal. I can Beseiju Strix, blow up Wolf Token, crack for all the damage. I guess the Wolf Token doesn't matter. I'm gonna blow up Strix. I can activate this. This has 3/3 with whenever it attacks, put a 1/1 on it? Okay. So that's not getting through. I am just gonna do it? No, I'm not. There's no need. I'm gonna attack first. Just gonna attack you. Correct. That is an obligation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Play this as my land for turn. Green, white, green, red, black. Nissa. Opponent has counterspell, sure. I feel like this game is already pretty over. Like, I don't know how they answer this Sphinx of the Steel Wind. You know, sometimes you just Eureka mono green. Sometimes you Eureka the Eureka deck. Just say it. Adventure is out there, friends. Adventure is out there. Opponent's Beseiju is already in play, so that's off the table. That's why I'm so comfortable with this Sphinx of the Steel Wind. Okay. Am I less interested in Blightsteel Colossus at this stage? Maybe on the draw, I'm more interested in trying to Grizzlebrand them. I could buy that. If this is a thing they're gonna have a hard time with. Like, this is also just really hard for them to beat. They have to have Metamorph. I think I like my deck configuration. I think I'm just going to run it back. Okay. One, two, three, four, five. 3 lands, we just cast Sphinx? I'm gonna keep. So here's the game plan. We're gonna go in Doth the Triome, pass, and then Tempo repeal their 1-drop? Sure. It's also good. Be a little sad if I get wastelanded here, but we can beat that. That's an Arbor Elf, yep. Blue source. Found another giant robot. That's what we were looking for. That is, in fact, not what we were looking for, friends. Okay, this makes, like, this actually does things now. Good for you, I suppose. I don't know why we're attacking with that, but okay. Opponent has 4 cards in hand, we have 8. So if I cast Balance, we're on 7. We discard 3 cards. Which is Blightsteel Colossus, 2 lands, then we play land. Don't hate this. I think we can do better though. I'm gonna play Trop and pass. So, to put this into context, the only reason I've been thinking about balancing there is because opponent's not currently showing blue mana, so they're not currently representing a way to stop this balance. Which I think is big. Opponent has shown us that their deck contains blue mana. That's an act of desperation. Choose 2 lands you control. This one, this one. Done? Choose 4 cards in your hand to keep. Sphinx, Nissa, Breeding Pool, Treasure Cruise. Done? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're 1 short. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Treasure Cruise. Yeah, our hand is gas. We also got to Treasure Cruise, which is, like, absolutely insane. John, what you missed is last game we Eureka'd our opponent. Resolves. They have taken our Emrakul and our Blightsteel Colossus. Okay. Nurturing Peatland. Green, green. Animate our Raging Ravine. Crack Ashiok. Kill this. Opponent has had enough. Yeah, so when opponents started missing a bunch of land drops and just like committing, when their Phyrexian Metamorph became another mana dork, that was the sign to me that opponent's hand was really soft, and that balance was going to be nuts. And by shuffling Blightsteel, we get access to that for the future. Unfortunately, opponent took it with Ashiok, but that's fine. We had enough of a mid-range game we could play, so pretty great. So we are 2-0, dropping only a single game in the mono-green match. Or, I guess they were... I say mono-green. Opponent's deck contained blue cards and potentially black cards. We saw Nurturing Peatland. But, like, whenever I look at one of those decks, right, these kind of big mana, big idiots decks that want to play Channel, like, in my mind, whatever other colors beyond green are kind of tertiary, right? Like, that's not the main plan. The main plan is my deck contains forests and large idiots. So, that's it. So, I will... Since we have some people who are joining late here, I will go ahead and flash the deck real quick. So we are on 5-color Oath of Druids. So, I don't think this is supposed to work, but it just does. So our deck contains a whole bunch of random, like, dual lands of various types. We were able to pick up Black Lotus and Time Walk both. Chain Lightning, Unholy Heat, Inquisition, Duress, Preordain, Consider, Plow, Balance, Remand, Oath, Duretti Scrap Savant, Garruk Relentless, Eureka, Vraska Golgari Queen, Nissa Who Shakes the World, Teferi Hero of Dominaria, Treasure Cruise, Grizzlebrand, Repeal, Pest Infestation, Blightsteel Colossus, and Emrakul of the Aeon's Torn. In our sideboard, Iona Shield of Emeria, this Elspeth Sun's Champion we're never ever playing. I guess the other important ones are like Sphinx of the Steel Wind, Unlicensed Hearse. Satoru Umezawa is a card that we could potentially bring in if we were so inclined, because it would give our big dumb idiots ninjutsu with some of the smaller things that, like the tokens off of Garruk Relentless and things of that nature, but not really the life we're looking to live. So that is us. That is 5-color Oath of Druids, and we are going into our third round. We are currently 2-1. Here's all of our blue cards. Just like most of them. Mulligan. This is fine. I'm gonna bottom Grizzledad. Okay, we're playing against another green deck. Opponent is named Blue. fire off this Preordain. Bottom Blightsteel, top Plains. I'm interested in Plains for reasons involving Swords to Plowshares. So hear me out. This repeal is actually pretty insane because opponent did nothing. So we could just tempo them, or attempt to tempo them, by bouncing Utopia Sprawl, which I kind of like. We found access to Treasure Cruise, which honestly we're not like that far from. I would love, love, love to hit a black source here. That is greedy. Twister resolves. Yeah. Yeah, Fair Time Twister's a bad Magic card, by the way. Just throwing that out there for everybody. Fair Time Twister, not a thing you want to do with your life. Start by duressing you. Treachery, Regrowth, Repeal. I'm gonna take this Treachery. I don't need more lands. Sure. That is a new card. The reason I'm talking about this Utopia Sprawl on Zaggoth Triumph being greedy is because this is a land that can be wastelanded. Uro's gonna happen here. I know that opponent has lands to play. They've chosen to put Breeding Pool into play, and they're paying for it. Okay. Verdant Catacombs is land for turn. You got it. I'm gonna play Copperline Gorge here, and then just pass. I'm gonna act like I've got something going here. The reason being, this reeks of counter magic. This really, really smells like opponent drew some sort of interactive spell. 3. That is a Consecrated Sphinx. Opponent's gonna draw a whole bunch of magic cards here. Sure. Okay. Play Raging Ravine. Cast Vraska. I think I'm just gonna skip the trigger here, or the ability to... I think I'm gonna skip the ability to sacrifice. Sphinx is gone. Opponent has a grip full of cards. Sweet Mother of God, I hope that opponent just, like, regrows Time Twister here and Time Twisters again. Like, opponent will have so many cards. But I don't know that that's the end of the world for us. Also, to clarify, the reason I didn't draw a card with Vraska is because there's nothing meaningful that I can draw in that turn cycle that matters. And opponent would get to draw 2 off of their Consecrated Sphinx, where I would much rather just kind of let them do their thing. They're going to Mystical for Frantic. Okay. Okay. That explains things. They are a Storm deck. Mm-hmm. So I will say that we are particularly soft to Storm. Most of our interaction doesn't matter at all. I will be bringing Iona in for the sole purpose that Iona is a card that can shut off things like Frantic Search, Repeal, Treachery. It currently looks like most of opponents' spells that we care about are blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. Is this Palancron? Time Spiral. Okay. Sick. So opponent is just trying to go off. That's their whole game plan, is try to go off. Which is fair. Opponent is declining Consecrated Sphinx here, which is a bold thing to do. Isn't this kind of your deck's whole game plan? Or do you just already have all of the cards you need to kill? Okay. Beginning of each upkeep, create a 3/3 blue named Comus Coil, sack another Serpent, choose one, tap target permanent, gains indestructible until end of turn. Okay. This is fine. Sure. That's fine. That's not a life we were trying to live anyway. Start by duressing you. Take Force of Negation. White, blue, 1, 2, 3. Plus. One, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, something like that. Oh, I did this wrong. For some reason, in my mind, Teferi untaps the lands and you draw an end step, but I know that's not correct. I've played this card like infinite times. I know for a fact that you draw, then untap an end step for counter magic. Yikes. Okay. So I'm losing this to Fairy for no reason. I don't know, maybe not. Gonna untap this and this. See where these go. Everything at me, sure. Three. Uro, that's not a thing I particularly care about. Oh, I was supposed to do this in end step. I'm so bad. Probably target my two walkers here, that's fine. Sure. Okay. Looming Marsh. Time Walk? Do I bother remanding here? Pitch this time. Preordain. So Gush is gone, Preordain's gone. Okay. Oh, Verdant's in their yard. I think they played an island. I feel like we're pretty dead here. I'm just trying to figure out how I could try to wiggle. Oh no, we're just super dead. I just looked at my life total. Alright, well, that was unfortunate. Alright, so things that I'm interested in include Iona Shield of Emeria, maybe Sphinx of the Steel Wind, maybe not Sphinx. My thought process is that I imagine most of their answers to something like this are green. But maybe that's just not true. Pest Infestation seems questionable. They're more of a mana dork deck. I do like Unlicensed Hearse here. This card seems very, very, very good. Repeal seems less good. I'm gonna keep this, and here's why. We can interact on one, disrupt something early. Treachery, Repeal, Gush. They're like infinite worlds away from Treachery. They're also not like remotely close to Gush either. I think I am going to take Gush though. And the reason I'm taking Gush is because that's the thing that they're more likely to cast. Kind of figured that was coming. If a library has 20 or fewer cards in it. Heath, okay. We found something to do. Okay, regrowth on Windswept Heath. That's actually pretty good for them. Spire Bluff Canal. This is Uro. As expected. Oh, they showed us a new card. So we know that Heath is still in their hand. They're going to put that into play for turn, I imagine. Yep, okay. We're just drawing all of the lands. Which, like, okay, I guess. Heath is in graveyard. There's Breeding Pool. Us flooding out here is not great. Blue. 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 Narset Parter of Veils. Sure. Not a thing I'm particularly worried about at this present moment. Force of Negation, sure. Okay. So we still know a decent chunk of the cards in opponent's hand. I'm gonna take this Narset off the table. If they'll let me. Force Pitch Repeal. Okay. Take down. Upheaval. Time Twister, sure. That's unfortunate, but my hand wasn't really doing anything anyway. I guess that is a reason to play the Lotus. Mystical Tutor, sure. They've also put themselves further away from the Shellbach being relevant, so like that's such a strange thing to do. It's my Chain Lightning, okay. What's in exile? Oh yeah, the Chain Lightning they force of negation. Tracks. Makes sense. Sure. Frantic Search. Discard 2 lands. Sure. Manamorphose, okay. Right now their hand is not really doing anything. They have activated Shellbach. Okay. Time Spiral. Okay. They're gonna untap all their lands here. Chart a course. Draw 2 discard, because they have not attacked. Discard Windswept Heath, sure. So, Jace Vryn's Prodigy, yes. Consecrated Sphinx, that sucks for us. White, blue, 1, 2, 3. Opponent has not previously shown us white mana, so not really expecting them to just like Fractured Identity us or anything crazy like that. Manamorphose, sure thing. Draw a card. Oh, and then they activate JVP, loot, get Sphinx back, Sphinx again. Yikes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is their Sphinx. Sure. It resolves. I'm just sad about it. Okay. Fury's like 100% dying. No. Opponent has a billion cards in hand. Coma, sure. It feels like we're in a really bad spot here, but... Okay. Well, that sucks. I'm going to fire off this Preordain. I'm firing it off for the purposes of trying to set up my next few turns. Because right now it's like 10, 11, 12, 13. We go to 7. I need to find gas in the next couple of turns. Wow. Okay. I feel like opponent may live to regret that. Like, I'm not 100% sure why they bothered Force of Negating that when they could have just waited to Force of Negate whatever it came off the top. Two, three, 4, 5. Yeah, like, them looting with JVP did the thing anyway. That just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I would understand more if this Narset wasn't already in play. Honestly, even then, you have a Sphinx, you have a Consecrated Sphinx. Correct. I take 13 and go to 7. I need balance. Black, 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 black. 1, 2. I mean, I guess. Black, 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 black. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sure. Okay, well, we end with a reasonable 2-1. I think that there's some decent chances that we beat that third matchup like a non-zero amount of the time. Opponent set up Narset plus multiple wheel effects, which was bad for us. We continued to brick perpetually and just draw a bunch of lands, which was pretty unfortunate. I still don't understand why opponent even bothered with forcing Preordain, because you can probably beat anything off the top, and I'm not drawing it until the following turn anyway. Plus, in a circumstance like with Grizzlebrand there, right, they didn't even need to cast that Force of Will. They could have just gone ahead and said, okay, here's what we're going to do. Your Grizzlebrand resolves. We're going to go to my turn. I'm going to make another Serpent with Coma. I'm going to sacrifice the summoning set Coil to tap Grizzlebrand, and then I'm going to crack you for 1 billion damage. So, I think opponent was playing a little too gung-ho with their counter spells there, but kudos to them, it worked out anyway. But that is going to be it for me for today, everyone. Again, just kind of wanted to fire off a kind of chill cube stream. But I will see you all again on Wednesday. We'll be back playing some more Constructed Magic, and the same again on Friday, both at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. In the meantime, I hope that you all have a fantastic week. If you are off today due to Martin Luther King Jr. Day, enjoy your day off. If you are not, I hope that you enjoy the rest of your Monday, or whenever this might be that you watch this. You all have a great afternoon. Cheers. We'll see you on Wednesday.